Hey folks, Mackenzie Lambert here with my colleague John Cleveland.
Hi everybody.
We are on day 25 of the 31 Days of Halloween Horror Challenge from the folks over at Nightmare on Film Street. Today's theme should have won an Oscar.
Oh, so many good options here. So horror is just always snubbed by the Oscars. And I, as a giant horror fan, I will say that I don't always think that they deserve it. I've definitely heard people, Scream should have won an Oscar. Absolutely not. It's not even close to being an intelligent film in that regard. But I don't hate Scream. I'm just saying that, like, calm down.
Yeah.
But there are so many other, that should have won. Or, like, they'll win an Oscar for, like, sound design.
Yes.
Or special effects. Like,
rarely will you get, like, Sounds of the Lambs where it wins Best Picture, Best Actor, Best Actress.
Yeah, even Sounds of the Lambs. Oh, no, that's a thriller.
Don't you dare!
But that is why one of the reasons I'm very, like... I get that there's a gray area between thriller and horror, but I'm like... Just because the killer, the bad person, the bad entity is a person does not make it not horrifying. So, that's a different thing.
Yeah. All right, so for my pick, I went with a really oddball one. I went with Brian De Palma's The Phantom of Paradise because it was actually nominated for an Oscar, but for original or adapted music. And the music in that film is really good.
Sure.
That movie turned me on to Paul Williams, and I've really become a fan of his since then.
I remember when I first watched that film, I'm like, hey, it's the guy from Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah.
To this day, he's just going to be the little guy from Smokey and the Bandit. They just never changed him.
I hear his voice and I just think, it's the Penguin from Batman, the animated series.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no, he's a very iconic voice. Good for him. Good for him. But I liked, Phantom, I enjoyed it, but if I'm being honest, the only thing I think it probably should have even gotten nominated for was the song.
Yes.
And I didn't go through that year to see what other songs were out there. Because that's the thing. I tried to take it like that. I tried to look at a horror film that year should have won for something. It did not even get... I didn't even choose nominees.
Yeah, I actually kind of stipulate myself, okay, if it was actually nominated, then that's what I'm going for.
Yeah, and that's fair. You know what? In hindsight, maybe I should have done that. Is a horror that was nominated and didn't win it, but I preferred to have gone, no, you just should have done it.
Yeah.
So, but with that said, my choice, which I feel is the obvious choice, John Carpenter's The Thing.
Yes. Yep.
How did that not win an Oscar for special effects? Much less writing.
I'm trying to think. The first one to win the Oscar for special effects was
Rob Bottin in American Werewolf in London. It was an invent. They invented the Oscar because people...
No, not Rob Bottin. Rick Baker.
Oh, Rick Baker. Yes, you are. So I apologize. Yes. Rob Bottin's the guy who did...
The Thing.
The Thing. But yes, I'm sorry. I don't care. The fact that didn't get an Oscar for the special effects, I will never be happy about. No, but more specifically, I actually think it was the best written film that year. I would have accepted an adapted screenplay, actually more likely because the original, the short story is not as good.
I've read the short story. It's like, and I love I remember reading the short story, and they actually had like an interview with the writer of Logan's Run who tried to do an adaptation of The Thing.
Yeah.
And he just comes off as this bitter asshole. It's like, the John Carpenter film, it's just a boring mess. It's like, no, you're wrong, dude.
No, you're wrong.
You're wrong.
He made, so it doesn't happen often, but sometimes the movie is just better than the book. Spoiler alert, Jaws? Yeah, no. The movie is...
Stir of Echoes?
Stir of Echoes, yeah. We can keep going on, but that's a different topic.
Yeah.
But it is a crime against cinema that John Carpenter's The Thing does not have an Oscar.
No. And meanwhile, the Oscars will nominate a movie like Norbit for makeup effects.
No comment. Just no comment. You brought up Norbit. Don't talk to me for at least an hour. Norbit?
Yeah.
When we're talking about Oscars?
Man, me, but even though the Oscars actually nominated that movie. So blame them. For makeup effects.
I hate everything.
Yeah. Go figure.
No, I don't want to.
Alright, so let's get out of here. Let's see. Tomorrow, day 26, The Master of Suspense, Alfred Hitchcock.
Alright. I just feel there's one obvious choice here. So,
Alright, so tomorrow, Alfred Hitchcock for day 26. So until then, this is Mackenzie Lambert.
And John Cleveland.
See you tomorrow, folks.
Bye.